Hello, my dear Capricorns, and welcome to your reading for the month of April. I'm sorry that your reading comes out so late in April and you actually get to use this knowledge for the last week of April, but you know how time is very fluid in tarot, and maybe you can actually take some of this knowledge here and apply it still, because some of the cards actually spend their effect in time. So you may be maybe some of you are at the beginning of the story, maybe some of you are in the middle of it, or some of you are actually at the end. So this is different from what I have done for the other signs, but because I'm doing your reading so late here, I decided to make like a map, pull out more cards to get the general idea of what you're dealing with in April, so I can understand what your starting point is, because I would like to see the story of the 12 zodiacal signs through time. So now in April I have pulled out like 7 cards for each row, and I will read this map together with you. So what we have here for the month of April is I see you manifesting, first of all, the Nine of Pentacles here. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is a card about being self-sufficient. It's the card of singlehood. It's the card of celibacy. So what I'm thinking with you is that your story starts off with you being single and maybe catering to your needs, accepting the fact that when you're left to your own devices, Capricorn, and it's not just you, it's the earth element, also Virgo and Taurus can manifest this. If you're left to your own devices, I think you just exude a lot of stability, a lot of prosperity around you. It's this general well-being. I think it's your inner garden, your inner sanctum somehow manifesting on the exterior, and you're somehow content in this. People around you feel it. Even when you sit next to an earth person, it's like they have this general aura here. They have this general aura of maybe great walls put around them, because you may be single, or you're manifesting as a single person in the month of April. Even if you're in a relationship, your general energy will be like this. You have great walls here, great stability, great abundance, great financial success. It's like you being stable, and you're enjoying the simple things in life. You're actually enjoying yourself. Maybe when you get to be alone, it's like you may be putting on your favorite pajamas, or certain type of clothes that are very comfortable, but they're also making you feel special in a way. This person here is treating themselves really nicely. They're tending to their inner beauty, and this can be also mirrored on the outside. Now, with you being single here, you have the King of Cups popping up. Now, the King of Cups talks about a water sign. This is usually the card for Pisces, but it can very well be a Scorpio or a Cancer person in your life. And with the Nine of Pentacles, 9 is an unstable number because it's not a multiple of 2. So you here in your singlehood with your high walls, it's like you're sort of looking towards the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, he is shown here as a very wise old man, dressed in blue, so he's pure of heart somehow, this person in your life. They have their feet down in the water, and you can actually see, I don't know if you can see, there's a little crab here and a starfish here on this side. Now, when the King of Cups has his feet down in the water, it tells us that he is very well connected to his emotions. Okay, this is the King of Hearts, and he has his cup right here, so I'm guessing he's a person that wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very open with his emotion. This is a person that can very easily relate to those around him that have emotional problems or emotional success, and he can be very happy for someone, actually contribute somehow to the celebration of a happy event, or this person can offer emotional stability, emotional advice for those around him. Now, because he is so open in his heart, he can also suffer from some sort of addiction, because this person is very sensitized towards emotional changes. He feels like more than a normal person would. He feels the energy around him, and he can feel emotions even at a distance, I think. Now, you being single here, and this King of Cups actually wearing this blue robe here, I'm thinking you somehow in your lonely time you get the blues about this person in your life. You really know this person. It's like we know who he is in our life. If this doesn't talk about love relationship, it may very well be someone who is older than us and has more experience in the emotional realm. It's like this person has been born this way, with this ability to understand the emotions of people and navigate emotional waters. So this person, if it's not your significant other, it can very well be a close relative, a parent, a brother, a bigger sister that has water in their chart, or so on and so forth. So your attention is on you, also a bit on them. But with this, it's like you're sitting in your inner garden, your inner castle, the place where you name a home for yourself that is inside of you. And it's like you have these great walls. There's a big dam here that somewhat is holding the King of Cups water on this side. So it's like you don't want to be flooded maybe with emotions, because you may get unstable or you feel uncomfortable or this is an experience that would lead to if you feel your emotions somehow you don't have so much stability, and you have this big wall here towards the King of Cups, like please keep your water at bay. As a general thing, earth and water go very well together, like air and fire do, because water can somehow, it's so emotional that it gets out of whack. Like you can have powerful tsunamis, or you know, when water acts, when you have natural disasters in regards to water, it can do a lot of damage. So the element of earth goes very well with water, because somehow it's like you create like a space, you give a form to this person here, to this King of Cups. It's like he is fertilizing the land, your earth element, with his emotional water element, and you somehow help this other person. You complete each other in this way, like you come forth to him and give him like a safe space, or you give some type of form or organization to this person. It's a very interesting dynamic that is going on here between you two. And also the King of Cups, this King of Cups in your life is somewhat after the King of Cups you have free the Empress. And when this card pops out, I'm thinking about your feminine side that is being manifested like this. This is, again, great abundance. This is unconditional love. You can see the stars here on her on her crown. You can actually see there are several several stars here on her crown, and this is an cultural type of crown that you put on the head. I know that Balkans and Slavs usually have this type of crown, and maybe Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very old rite of putting flowers, like weaving them into a crown and wearing them on your head. This is like this is your feminine side, being so fertile, being outgiving, being so rich in its essence. This is nature in a card. You also have here the cow that is sitting in the grass. So this is talking about a horned creature, Taurus, Aries, or Capricorn, but I'm thinking it's you here. It's you here. This may be the way that you are manifesting your energy, or this is how you look in the eyes of the King of Cups. You're both rulers in a way, but one is here open with the heart. Now your heart may be a bit shielded, because you know how you have this sort of innocence in you, Capricorn. And you can actually manifest this innocence very openly with the King of Cups. It's like he knows better than to damage your heart. So the heart here in the Empress card shows up as being a shield. But this is a shield that I think you kind of manifest towards other people, not necessarily towards this King of Cups. Even if you have this dam, this shield, this big wall that's surrounding your heart, the King of Cups is not even looking at it. It's sort of looking away, because you know how water can slowly infiltrate something. It can get through all the cracks and the nooks and crannies, and it actually gets to the source of it can actually go past walls or whatever human structure we put in front of it. It will tear it down by time, like eroding it and permeating it and going through it. So what I'm thinking here, even though you may be shut out from the world just to manifest your prosperity, even though your heart may be shielded off for you to digest the things that were like this cow, you know, the cow has 4 stomachs and it actually needs a long time to digest things. Somehow this King of Cups is going past all these things, and it's like he is watering the seed that you have in you. He is somewhat bringing you to life. This is nature, and when you add water to nature, it's like a very fertile dynamic here with you two. Yes, it's very beautiful what is going on here with you and this person. Now, after this, you're getting the Two of Cups card. Now, with the Two of Cups here, that actually ties into the High Priestess. It's like both of you have the cups of your heart, and you're actually exchanging your essences between each other. Now you can see the luscious green that's here on this card, but you also can see from the King of Cups from the King of Cups card to the Two of Cups, you can see the water that is running here. So this card is telling me that you have this combination of water and earth, and you can create clay, and from clay you can create a myriad of things. Think about in ancient times, people were experts at creating clay vessels, and they were used worldwide because they could store a lot of things in there. They could cook with them, and they actually decorated these beautiful vessels, clay vessels, with very high knowledge. I mean, even if it was a household item, it would have some symbols of peace and prosperity put onto it. We were much more efficient in that way with our decorations. Now, it's a very prosperous thing going on here. And I'm thinking somewhat that you two are different races. You are. It's like here you have the natural people, the clay people, and here you have the sea people. So these are two different species coming together, okay? It's a very weird thing because I feel you have some sort of knowledge about each other. It's like you know each other from past lives. Maybe your souls have been meeting through out time in several lifetimes. You keep meeting each other and you get a bit more knowledge about the other one with each life that you meet in. So this person is giving you their cup to drink from their essence, as you can see here on the Two of Cups. They're not drinking from their own cup. It's like you're serving your essence to the other person. And I think both of you feel very comfortable with this, although it may be a repetition. You may know this person for a lot of time, or you're just getting to know them now, and you feel this connection, like maybe I know you from somewhere. You get that feeling. You understand what I'm talking about with this card here. And now you're coming together again to get more knowledge. when you understand how the King of Cups goes about his life and his energy and how he thinks and he acts, it's like you're getting those abilities too. And the King of Cups is also working on these abilities that you have, being abundant, having a form, not being such a restless sea, for example. So it is very this dynamic is very beautiful here. So I'm thinking that you're starting August, or before starting August, you somewhat got into this right here. And it's a beautiful thing that's happening there. It's like coming, being reunited with this person for another lesson. But I think you have a lot of respect for one another, a lot of understanding and love and forgiveness and all the good things. This is like once in a lifetime type of bond. I mean, you cannot find this bond out in the world. It's like 1% of the population actually knows about this type of thing. So, moving on, you have so you're exchanging your essences here, getting to know each other, and with the next two cards that popped up with Seven of Wands, Five of Swords. Now, either you manifest this card and your partner manifests this card, or this are both inside of you, or these are both inside of the King of Cups. If it's inside of your partner, it's gonna be inside of you also. If it's on the inside of you, it's gonna be mirrored out in the world, maybe in this King of Cups person. Now let's understand the cards. Now the Seven of Wands and the Five of Swords. Sevens are usually challenges, and the fives are quarrels, wars, and things of the sorts. They're both unstable numbers, and it talks about seeing yourself as being somewhat alone in a situation, because only you have only you embody this understanding. Now the Seven of Wands is having a lot of things to do. The wand is the card of action, like real action, and it's a fire essence. So there's a lot of things to do in regards to a situation here. You need to show a bit of bravery, you need to stand up for yourself, you need to stand up for the things that you believe in, for the path that you want to take this into. And here, although you have a lot of bravery, and maybe this person has surpassed his enemies, he is looking very brave, and his stance here is one of victory. Even though you may embody this energy, like you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, it's still a trial. You need to be like this to wage this war, to be able to win this war, because the Five of Swords is a card of war. Like this person doesn't have like a sword and a shield, this person has two swords, so they're actually moving in with great haste to wage war. And you can also see the fire here, but the swords are usually the air element. They talk about arguments, and every sword here is an argument that you can use. And Seven of Wands and Five of Swords in this deck talks about a surplus here, a surplus of weapons. It's like I've already been through this. I don't need to go through the other thing. And here it's like, so I have this argument, this one falls down, I cannot use the other argument. So you have a lot of weapons here that are laying and being, you know, ready to be used in this war. So what I'm thinking with this connection here, it's maybe you have been through this and both of you are like trying to not manifest the things that have been in the past, but they will. One person is well aware of the amount of work that you two need to do in order to have your beautiful relationship, and the other one is full of arguments, petty fights, and maybe even stupid arguments about your relationship or how this could go about. These two cards in combination can also mean that you or the King of Cups has some sort of a problem with your connection. It's like, again, as I told you, I've been through this. Is this actually worth it? Yes, maybe it is, but when you get to doing it, now you start the war. Now we need to talk about this or the other thing. This is not settled, the other thing is not settled, so on and so forth. So there's somewhat of a big conflict brewing here about your connection. So I don't know if it will hold. Maybe for some Capricorns it will, and you both will be more powerful for going through this, and for others it will not hold up because someone is very conflicted on the inside, and you both may have different approaches to the problem. Now after these cards, after the Five of Swords, you have the Five of Cups coming up here. And if you can see in the Seven of Swords, there is like this crow here. Come on, let's focus. Okay, so you have this crow here, okay? This alludes to death. And afterwards you have this person that's dressed in black, waging war, maybe having some skulls at his feet. He has here the swords that may belong to his enemy, so he is somewhat victorious in a way, but the war is not over. So you have death here, death, person that serves death here. And with the Five of Cups, this person is dressed in this black cloak, and he is doing some sort of a blood sacrifice here, like letting the cups of other people being spilled on the floor. So you're spilling the blood in their heart somehow. What I think you're doing here is somewhat you're sorting out other possibilities in your life. It's like, I don't want this cup, this one also I don't need, so I'm gonna sacrifice these, even if here there's a goldfish. So there was a goldfish in a cup. Maybe you or someone had a hidden wish about you or another person being together, so these things are being sacrificed. It's like, yeah, in order for me maybe to have that relationship, I need to clean this I need to clean the slate in my heart or in my life, or yeah, it's like your cleaning stage somehow. Here we see the Two of Cups again. It's like you're not really sure what you're gonna do with the two cups that are in your life. Some Capricorns will stay because they sacrificed all of these, and it's getting exaggerated here. This warring energy that leads to death is amplified, more and more amplified. And I don't know what you are gonna do with these two cups. They're being held here against a waterfall. So again, with the King of Cups, water element of emotions. But it's a good thing that you finally are starting to do like a general cleanup in your life. It's like you start from one small thing and it actually turns into a big thing in your life. Like, I wanted to clean this drawer, but somehow I ended up redecorating my whole life because one thing led to the other. So you know what this is about for you. This may be about health habits. This may be just about this dynamic that you have with the King of Cups. This may be about you inside of yourself giving up old habits, old things that have been holding you behind, either from experiencing this beautiful bond here, either from you being yourself fully. So we have the energy that is increasing on this side. Another thing that I want to note here with these cards, it's maybe both of you are actually fighting external interference in your love relationship, because you two know that it all boils down to you and your partner, to the both of you. And here with these two cards, you may be dealing with outside interference, people's opinions, what would others say, social stigma, many things. That this could be a great number of things. You need to apply it for yourself. And here I'm seeing you, Capricorn, doing this sort of a sacrifice. If people will not accept this about me, I need to throw this person out, this person out, and the other one out. And that which you keep, you're still thinking about it, because here with the Five of Cups, a person can run into the risk of actually sacrificing it all, not just those cups. So really take a moment in time for the month of April to take small sips of water and breathe, because there's a lot happening from what I see here. You're having a lot of changes on the inside. So you're spring cleaning your life, and you have so many things to do that you may be tempted to fix it all at once by sacrificing it all. So really do take care of yourself. Now, the energy here is increasing. You have Five of Swords, also Five of Cups. 5 is a number of I see it as a number of war. This is like a conceptual war, because you're fighting with someone. I hope it's not physically. Maybe you're fighting with your words and arguments, and here it's like an emotional war of you sacrificing things. Now, as I said before, it's like you start off with trying to fix like a small thing. I want to clean this drawer. And while you're cleaning the drawer, it's like you start cleaning the other drawer, and then the whole room, and then the whole house, and then you have the Ace of Swords, and it's like you are finding out that maybe I have this example of like you start cleaning house, and you've always had a problem with an insect or a bug or something. Here with the Ace of Swords, it's like you find in your house this hidden thing that was locked up somewhere, where it brought about a lot of insects. It was putrefying. It's all so I'm thinking you're getting the idea here with this Ace of Swords. You know, you have a lot of tasks to do with the Seven of Wands, like a big to-do list. Then you start waging war against people or inside of you. You're working with yourself. You're trying to sacrifice things, and you're going deeper and deeper and deeper with this awareness that you have, like working with yourself. And here with the Ace of Swords, you're getting to the heart of the matter. This is like a burning truth that is being shown to you by using the sword of truth, of awareness. You see the flames here, it's the burning truth. So once this is once you have light being shed on a certain subject, it's like you cannot look away from it. It's so bright here. But don't be fooled by the idea that you have fire here, because swords usually are the air element. So this is somewhat of a icy sword. This is a very icy sword, and it comes here after you are working with these energies. Finally, the Ace of Swords, it's like a new beginning here, because once you have the ultimate truth of something, from there on out you start working with a certain thing. So this is a new beginning, even if it hurts, even if it comes to you in a very harsh way. Welcome this truth in your life. You need to work with this now. You cannot go to the old way of being. And the Ace of Swords, funny thing, comes here with next to 15, the Devil. And you also had 5 of Cups before. Now 5 of Cups with the Ace of Swords, this is like 5 and this is 1, and you have 15 here, the Devil card. So this would be from the 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups energy, which is a type of a war. Finally here you have 5 of Cups with the Ace of Cups and 15 the Devil. So it's this energy is doubled here. It's like yes, 15, the Devil card is your card, Capricorn. This is you. This is how throughout history, society or religion has made you feel bad for the things that you embody. Okay, we're used to seeing like our addictions, our indulgences as shackling us to this pleasure god. It's like it's not good to just sit and enjoy life. All the finer things in life, they all have darker sides, and you're somewhat not fit to live just because you're like this. So the Capricorn is actually a symbol for innocence, but here you see the image that has been pinned on him just because he had a lot of knowledge. He was this shaman, he was this great leader, and somehow the divinity smelled that you have a problem with your self-esteem. It's like you always want to be more, and the divine forces want you to know that you are divine as you are, because you came about by their creation. So you're yucking their creation in a way, and this is gonna fall upon you. I'm talking here about the general theme of the Capricorn. So this is the card of the Capricorn. You're a very powerful being, and you have your knowledge inside of you. It's like you're born with a certain set of skills and you know how to use them. We also have like a lot of snakes here in the Capricorn card, which alludes to change. Some people are afraid of snakes, so they're afraid of change, of death and rebirth, also of changing the form that they're in, because snakes shed their skin. But you, Capricorn, are a cardinal sign, so the snake here is a very fortunate symbol, because you may be stubborn because you have your horns, you're you may be a violent sign, you're not one to be messed with. I mean, who would mess with the devil? But here with the snakes, it alludes to the fact that you're a cardinal sign and you like to start new things and change things, and people might find this frightening about you, that you're able to change your skin and go with another path. Maybe this relationship with your Pisces person, or actually going about it on your own because you're powerful in yourself. Now 6 and 6 here, it's like the 6-6. It's also alluding to your essence, the devil essence. The devil lives in the lowest point, as we see this hierarchy in the world, that like up above you have the divinity, and very at the lowest point possible you have the devil here. Now this Ace of Swords is coming right next to the devil, so you're getting you're either serving this truth to yourself, you're serving a truth to someone else. This truth is being served to you by some unseen force, or you're serving this to yourself. So once you have the truth here, I think it's like a new start. So you may get this truth by unpleasant means, but I think it's gonna help you and not affect you so much. It's either you giving up an addiction, either you giving up something shady that you've been doing. It's either you actually acknowledging the fact that is you're not so much in the wrong that you felt that you are. Maybe you somehow get very clear upon the limits and the bad information that other people have upon you, that have been weighing on you in a way, and you're certainly not like this. You're not as these other people actually think that you are, and you're getting very clear upon this. You don't want to be shackled in like these people are shackled here. You don't want to be a slave to what others think or feel or impose upon you. It's like I'm feeling you here actually owning your power. So this is a very healthy thing. Even on the planetary level, you have Saturn, your ruler, and Pluto both going retrograde in your sign. So you're going through a major restructuring. So if you embody your energy, really grab it with both hands, own your energy. That there are certain things about you that may be shady, but they offer you some sort of a knowledge. You have some built-in things. You came here with these upgrades in a way that are different from the rest of the world, and some people take this as being somewhat of a flaw, but they're not flaws. You're just this type of person that is here to act in your particular way, the way you know that it is best for you, because you need to live your own life by your own accord. Yes, we have general human rules, but maybe you're here to challenge those rules and actually face up to the fact that you want to manifest something different. And after this energy here amplifies, it's getting real cold. Either cold, it's like I'm feeling two extremes here, either very cold or very hot here. And after 15 the devil, you have 16 the Tower card. By divine intervention, something is brought down. So you're doing this cleanup here, this emotional cleanup of taking down all your balls and ball and chains. You're taking them down, you're entering your power, and it's like now the old structure, that which has been like this prison that you were maybe living in by outside interference or by your own interference. Maybe you have been putting yourself in this cage here. Maybe I'm too weird for the people around, or maybe I am too shady for the people around, and I need to contain myself inside of this prison here. Or it may be a well. This may be the entrance to hell, so you can reach the devil. Again, high walls, like in the nine of Pentacles. You have very high walls that keep this beautiful essence of you trapped. You're keeping yourself trapped, or there are others that are keeping you trapped with their words within a bond, within a relationship, in the old ways of thinking and doing. This isn't very big structure. This is a hard to penetrate into type of structure, and here by divine interference it's being torn apart because it is being outdated, and sometimes you need to just cut things out in order to manifest new things. So the energy was intensifying here. You finally meet yourself, your true self here, your essence, and all things are falling down. And now it's all being thrown up in the air. Things are still falling down, and you're trying to make sense of it. This spring, this emotional, energetic spring cleaning that you're doing here really affects you on a personal level, on an energetic level, on an emotional level. Now all Capricorns will be affected in a different type, in a different way, while Pluto and Saturn are going retrograde in your first house, in your own sign. Hello my dear Capricorn, I'm sorry for not completing the video. Something really popped up and I need to take a bit of a ride. So as I took Sagittarius with me on the ride, I will also take you with the ride. So the video will be, half of it will be with what I've filmed so far, and half of it will be only audio. I actually left your reading for the last because Saturn and Pluto both retrograde in your sign is a scary energy to deal with. And as you can see, I wanted to get your reading done, but things pop up. So I'm thinking your energy in April will also be the same, that you're doing this type of restructuring. Everything is up for grabs and things just pop up. And maybe you want to sit on the meadow and digest the things that were. Give yourself time to weigh things out before you throw them. And I'm thinking you don't actually have all the time that you need for this process, because things pop up. So with the reading now, we were talking about this tower moment in your life, that things need to go, something has to give in a way. The structure that you have built for yourself, maybe others have built for you. Maybe you were a prisoner here, or this was your comfort zone. Fact of the matter is that it needs to change and it needs to go fast. Yeah, fast, because you only have like 5 months of Saturn being retrograde in your sign, and this is your chance for a total restructure. Saturn is somewhat of an architect. It deals with the structures in our lives. So I think you're getting the general idea that you also are a type of architect right now, with your being, with your
outer world. And it's a funny thing usually, because once you start changing things on the inside, they're followed up instantly, almost instantly, by a changing in the outer circumstances. So this tower here is what is needed. It's you or Saturn or other influence in your life actually breaking down the structure. Now, once you break down the structure, this divine intervention here that you can see on the card, once this tower is being broken into pieces, it's like everything is up in the air. So I'm expecting you to be this, to embody this Four of Pentacles energy. Yes, it may allude to a person that's a bit square-minded. It's like you're collecting things for your own benefit. But if you took down that structure, it's like you're almost rising your head above the rubble that is. It's like you're letting all this dust settle for a bit, so you can see what you have now, weigh the things, throw them or not. But you still need some materials to work with. So you may be trying out a new workout routine or a new savings plan or different things that you're experimenting with right now. So that's why you're kind of you manifest some sort of a hoarder syndrome or a collectioner theme here. But you need to let most of things go, because after we die, most of our things get, you know, sold, passed away, they're thrown out, and so on. So you may be trying to do what Aries was doing in their reading for this month, realizing that all that they need is on the inside, and once you come home to yourself on the inside of you, you then can travel and more lightweight, or live your life with less things taking up a lot of space in from your life altogether, like taking energy, taking time. You're wasting valuable resources on some things that are not of your benefit. So while you're there down in the rubble, trying to make sense of what has come to pass with that tower coming down, it's like there is this person in your life seeing you from afar, seeing you fall down from this big height down to the earth, seeing you being let out of a prison, seeing you maybe letting yourself out of the prison, seeing you doing this overall cleanup in your life. They see you and they sort of get this sense of danger, like, oh my god, this big beast, this powerful person, this essence is waking up. Okay, and they feel somewhat of a like their righteous duty somehow is the righteous duty is for them to sweep in, either save you or kill you in a way, or put you back down, or keep you back down, because you're in this state of, you don't even have clothes on with the Four of Pentacles. You're it's like them seeing you dabbling in the dumpsters looking for food. You're just trying to make sense of what was, and this person is getting quite the bad idea about you. They see you as struggling. Yes, you are struggling, but not in the way that this person sees you. It's like, I'm trying to make sense of myself, and this person comes in trying to save you, like you were living alone in the jungle and not having any food and being this type of wildling. Yes, you are a type of a wildling because you're the Capricorn. You embody the devil energy, but you're very okay on your own. And here you have, on the stage of your life, someone swooping in with the Knight of Wands, the King of Swords, and a Ten of Swords. Now let's talk about this person's mindset and their energy. So the Knight of Wands is a fast-moving energy. This is a fire person. We're talking here Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or it may be a very fiery, passionate person. Now this person is swooping in. They're riding this hawk and they're holding their stick way up high. So I'm guessing that they have a great internal navigation system. They have that wand there that is the compass needle, and the needle, it's pointing towards you. And they're also traveling with a very they're traveling very fast, almost like light speed. And when you're traveling very fast, you still have some type of friction with the air. So I'm thinking that this armor that they are that they have on themselves, it's like an armor there to protect them from the air element through which they travel so fast. They could combust if they don't have this armor on. So even though this person may come very passionate at you, very like, it's almost like they're on a mission, and their mission is to be the savior in your life. It's like, oh, poor you, you cannot handle yourself, let me just swoop in and save you. But all this time, please be aware that this person, they may be the King of Cups, but I doubt. But for you, it may be the same person manifesting this way. Their energy has changed. But for many of you, this is another person. And they're trying to fulfill a very patriarchal role. And they impose this on you. It's like a foreign authority with the King of Swords there. So the king inside of them, their masculine ruling force, is telling the other masculine side of theirs to go in, swoop in, and save you. But if you look at the cards, the King of Swords is sitting very high up the mountain. He's very lonely up there. It's very cold. So this is like a person that is so high above everyone in their heads that they cannot connect to the emotional part of life. They're somehow disconnected from emotions, because they hold their regality very high up, in very high regards, and their power actually stems from them being able to be like a judge. So they judge a lot of things. They judge others, they judge you, they judge themselves. They're really not connected with emotions. And with the Ten of Swords there afterwards, this Ten of Swords, it's like death and minor arcana. So this Knight of Wands is moving towards you because they have this mission been given to them by their king, their interior king. But this king is dead. This king has suffered some sort of defeat. They have tried to rule their kingdom, but somehow they ended up backstabbed by other people, backstabbed by their own thoughts of about them, about their world. Maybe they have fought for this crown, for this power, and now they see there is actually nothing much to it but a lot of loneliness and a lot of empty things, because swords are conceptual, they're cold, they're arguments, and you cannot apply arguments to heart matters. So this king is very high up on their throne. They're also dead, and they sent out this king of wands to survey the area. Maybe they're looking. If the king is dead, he's somewhat of a ghost, so he may be haunting you. He's coming back from the dead to haunt you, and haunt also sounds a lot like hunt. So the Knight of Wands that's surveying the area may be very well hunting you. They're sweeping down with this attitude of, oh, I can save you, but I'm actually here to hunt you down, eat you, take some more energy from you. Because if you look at the first row there, you see the 5 of Cups. Now, when you're doing this sort of bloodletting ritual, if blood were to be spilled in nature, we all have this primal understanding that predators are gonna be attracted by the smell of blood. You may be spilling the blood of old memories, of old relationships that you have. Even if you're dealing with your shadow self and you're working on yourself, it may be that even your blood actually attracts this person's attention. And it's like they lost their authority, and they have some sort of authority, but they feel backstabbed. It's like they fought for something and there's nothing there for their interest. And they are somewhat losing power. They're losing blood, and they may be trying to prey on you for your energy. And now when you're somewhat at your lowest, coming out of the Tower event, and this Tower event is not gonna manifest its effects just in April. You're gonna feel this for the whole of Saturn retrograde, I think, up until autumn, winter somehow. Now, if this person sees you and feels you like you're at your lowest, maybe your life force, your blood is dripping away because you're trying to clean things out and restructure, and yes, you need to cut into a wound to let all the excess infection come out. But when you're doing this, this person will definitely feel it, smell it from afar, sense it. So they will somehow sweep in under the premises that they know what you need to do in your life. They are this external authority, and poor you cannot do so much for yourself. Just let them take care of you. No, do not. Capricorn, I am warning you now. Try to not let this person rule over you, because because you're a Capricorn. You're the original king of the zodiac, so you are a natural born leader. It doesn't make any sense for you coming out of the tower event to get into another prison, like this prison that the King of Swords is in. There is this sort of dead cold prison inside of them. They don't let themselves feel. They don't have a beating heart. This person is just a ghost that has come back to haunt you. So don't let yourself be haunted by the ghosts of the past. And they're tied into they're very well tied into the tower, because they may have been living and building up their kingdom. It's like, I have these things and I own these and I do this and I'm very well calculated and I live by these very strict rules. And when this comes down, it's like they don't know what to hang on to. It's like a lot of arguments and thoughts and people around them. All the signs are pointing to them not actually winning much. They've built their own house of cards, and now it's killing them to tear it apart, because they have built something on the wrong premises, on the wrong thoughts and feelings. So you don't actually need this specter here, this person. Lol, Harvey Specter. So this was a character from a TV show called Suits. And yeah, so this Harvey Specter character, they're well established, they have their authority, they're together, but here they actually become a ghost, a real specter, because their world is very much dead or insignificant or just fucked. I'm sorry, it's very shallow in a way. They are becoming aware of the fact that without you, the element earth in their life, it's like there's nothing. There is this barren land of snow. Everything is frozen in their life. Or they may have been acting out very passionate, very trigger happy with that Knight of Wands, and maybe they have been acting like powder kegs. Okay, so they have been exploding left and right with their acting against the rules, and also implying a lot of rules and manifesting authority to those around them with this King of Swords. And now they find themselves very lonely. It's like a specter. When the king dies, it's like their soul will stay to haunt the ruins of their kingdom. So this is a specter type of a person. They still think they're alive, they still think they have the authority, because they don't know themselves otherwise. They cannot exist in another form. So even though they should change, they're not. So this person is here to show you what would happen if you would not let go of your current situation. You're gonna become a ghost and you're gonna haunt people around. Hello again, Capricorn. Your reading is getting way out of hand. So I've been talking up until now about this King of Swords, Knight of Wands energy coming in fast to cage you, I don't know, hunt you down. They're really coming for blood. Let's name it as so. But while looking at the last row in your reading, I see the Eight of Cups. Now, I've been lecturing you pretty much up until now about this person coming in, which I shouldn't do, because with the Eight of Cups, 8 talks about repetition. So I'm thinking that you already know how to deal with this person. You're tired of them. You know what the playbook, what's written in their playbook of rules to act out towards you. You know that they are not for real. And maybe you have realized this also back in the day when you were just meeting each other or getting to know each other. So it's like you're letting this person know that the party is over. With the Eight of Cups, the party is over. Something went something went bad, and there is also a repetition. 8, the infinity symbol. So it's like you already know how to deal with this person, even though you may come out with the Four of Pentacles from the Tower event. You still have your know-how, your past experience. Like, I just need to do this, this, and this, and the person will be so. These things will be so off-putting for the other person that they're just gonna go away. Because I'm thinking that you need to be on your own, or it's like you deciding that you're gonna go through this period on your own, so you don't need this other person. You can put in place that Eight of Cups. Try not to do anything shady, just protect yourself against this person. And after the Eight of Cups, you have the Page of Swords, which is a very, very, very young and experienced energy, but it's that soul part of you that actually wants to fight for their freedom, for their life, for maintaining their energy level, for just their right to not invest in whatever this King of Swords wants to serve to you. Okay, so you have that right. You can see it in the card as being that big sword that the Page of Swords is holding. It's way bigger than them, so try not to cut yourself with this freedom fighting, with this truth that you hold in your hands. Also try not to cut other people down to size. Like, there's no need to cut the King of Swords because he's somewhat dead already. So that's like trying to cut into either a ghost or with the Knight of Wands. It's like once you penetrate through the armor, this whole exoskeleton that he has been building up falls to the ground. Okay, so it's only dust and smoke. So don't use your energy to sit and fight these petty battles. You already know how to deal with this person and send them away. It's not the time for you right now to invest so much in yourself as to find this new way of acting towards the other person. It's not the moment for that. It's time for you, and you. One thing that I didn't mention to you is the fact that Mars will be going retrograde in your sign soon enough. So you already have Saturn that is going retrograde. You already have Pluto going retrograde, and now you'll have Mars going retrograde in your first house. It's time for you to focus all your energy on yourself, me, the I. Once you have a stable foundation and you very well know this. Once you have a very stable foundation and you act from the center of yourself towards the exterior, it's like you become a very powerful personality. You become this force of nature, okay? It's not just becoming a force of nature as to boast in front of others like, oh, I'm so powerful or this or that. It's more about you being yourself, being the great person that you know you already are. And after the Page of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess talks about, secrets, because she's a very mystical person. She doesn't share her secrets because people on the outside don't understand her. They don't have this higher understanding of energies and life and the general idea of how things work on this dimension, on other dimensions. We're talking here about a person that has their connection to the divine. It's very well established here. She's very well connected, and if you look closely at the card, you can see that she almost looks like a stone figure. She looks like an alien. So you may be perceived from the outside as being this alien, okay? This person that doesn't know much about life, but you are very well connected to the matrix and the divine and the universe, and you can feel with your intuition, with your senses, through your dreams, interpreting your dreams. I mean, these are all skills that the High Priestess actually has inside of her. It's not like you can work with them and evolve these things, but to a certain degree, you're kind of born with this inner knowledge that you have, and this knowledge is coming from source. Okay, you on your own as a human, I don't know how much of this you can, as I said, take the idea from which has been downloaded into you and applying it to different areas of life. Yes, you can do that as the High Priestess, but the seed of it, you usually get it from outside of you. So the High Priestess is always trying to be this clear channel for outside the forces, for if you think about SETI, for example, it's like an antenna. So we're trying to capture signals from outer space in the possibility that maybe someone would actually send us a signal. So you're being like this great SETI antenna trying to catch the bleeps of the coming from outside, from the universe. And you're trying to interpret them, apply them to your experience, apply them to the knowledge that you already have. This is also like going through a portal here, and you also had the Two of Cups, which harkens back to the High Priestess, the 2-2. Okay, and next to it you have the Two of Swords. So yes, you may be conflicted in the month of April about either picking between two love situations, either giving them both up and going on your own. You're trying to feel what the divine is telling you. You're somehow trying to retract like not move, first of all because you had the tower, and if you move maybe there will be another tower event, so you're a bit scared to some degree, but I feel like you're trying to let yourself be guided by what the universe has arranged for you. So, and it's a very interesting way that you're depicted here with 3 the Empress, 2 the High Priestess, 15 the Devil, and also the Tower card. So it's like people perceive you, the King of Cups, or other people perceive you as being this very outgiving, very nurturing person, the Empress. This King of Swords, when he swoops in, it's like he knows you're the devil and he sees you as the devil. And I think you yourself, you know yourself to be as the High Priestess. So it's like 3 parts of your personality here being displayed. You're going through these portals, because the Empress also has an arch behind her. The High Priestess has 2 pillars, and in the middle of all of these you have the tower. So we're talking about structures, we're talking about portals. Now you can you know, wreck everything while in the month of April. You can wreck everything, because soon enough Mars will be going retrograde, not now in April, in May. I wanted to say, I hope I didn't say something different before. You can wreck everything, because you will get the opportunity to rebuild it all. So it's not, everything is up for grabs for you. Really think about what it is that you want to create for the future. Do you still want to sit in these situations that are overdue, long overdue? Or do you want to create something that is new and maybe more fun, more lucrative? So coming back to the idea of 2s and your personality. So everything is up for grabs now. You can tear everything down and reinvent yourself. Now, it's normal that while you're doing this, there will be people that will come up to you and try to tell you that, oh, you're doing this remodeling, good, because this needs to be like this and this needs to be that way, and so on. So you don't need anyone around you telling you how you should be, how you should act. It's up for you to decide. No one gets to decide upon this. It's like, yeah, honey boo, I like you too, but no, this is my life. This is, you know, like in that TV series Hannibal, I think, you know, where the main character is going through the story of the crime in his head, and he always says this one thing: this is my design. So in a way, I'm thinking you should also do this, like be very clear that this is your design. Now with the High Priestess, she was Lilith. She was like Adam's first wife, and she has been thrown out because her inner divinity was put above her womanly duties. So you know that you're sort of this alien-like creature that has more knowing than your average human, and this is making you a bit witchy on the outside, or some people see you as being a witchy person or a bad person just because they don't have the knowledge that you hold. If you're dealing with people that have these very solid pillars, like you can see in the card, like this thing is totally black, or this thing is totally white, or this thing is like so people that are dealing with extremes, you know, like this is completely wrong. You can see the black pillar there and the black pillar ends with this pine cone shape that alludes to the pineal gland inside of us. But on a mundane level, I'm thinking you're not dealing with such high vibrational people. You're just dealing with people that can clearly take their finger, point it at you, and tell you that you are bad because you do this. You're a black person because you're doing this. You're a horrible person because of this and that and so on. The first step, if you were a lower vibrational person, would be every time someone says something dark or bad about you, try to come with a quality that you have in your head. It's like someone saying to something bad on the outside, and you coming in your inside to yourself saying, look, it's okay, we know we're cute, we know we're like this, we're good people, okay? We's good people. We're okay. If you're a higher vibrational person, you know that there is no white and black in the world. You have this very big concept about how things are in this type of existence in life. There's no complete black, there's no complete white, there's nothing completely 100% wrong, there's nothing 100% right and white or clean. Okay, so it's like you have experienced in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, you have experienced both extremes, and now you have this contrast on your inside, and they're both living there in relationship to one another. It's like you already have the yin and the yang inside of you. Okay? You don't need to be concerned with what other people are trying to pin on you in this period, because if they are still in that mindset, you can't do anything but let them evolve in their own time, on their own accord, in their own ways, through their own created situations. And maybe if in this lifetime they will reach the same level of understanding as you do, maybe you can actually communicate again and reassess the situation and exchange experience. But up until then, you're kind of on your own in this, and you just need to let other people do their own thing while you're focusing on how you will remodel, redo your personality. It's time to get really down to the nitty-gritty, going in that tower. In the lowest point of it, maybe you have like this well, okay, this bottomless well, at the bottom of which you have bottomless yeah, never mind. Moving on. Where in the lowest point you have your devil side. You need to really go down to the depths of you. See yourself, welcome yourself, celebrate yourself, and really redo the whole thing so it will be clean up until the next coming of Saturn in your first house. So when you know all your remodeling is this inner remodeling that will be reflected on the outside, when you know you have so much to work on. This can be so fruitful for you in the long run that it's very lucrative. Do that Capricorn thing now. Like, actually get down to every small detail that you want to change about yourself. If something is old or redundant, or it's not just you, maybe it has come from outside influence, throw that thing away. Get clear about your center. Really envision how you want to be for the next 20 something years, okay? For the next 20 something years. And while you're deciding, after the High Priestess is trying to listen to the divine for signs, symbols, dreams, so on, while you're waiting here, it's normal that you would be in a Two of Swords situation, deciding between two things. When I see the Two of Swords, I think creative differences, okay? You either have creative differences on your inside, or you have creative differences with someone else. And after the Two of Swords, we can see the Sun card, okay? So this can talk about two things. One of which is maybe you actually like this classical, traditional role that maybe it's either the King of Cups or the King of Swords that's trying to corner you into this role of being a well-raised woman, you know, bowing your head to what the man says, taking care of the children, bearing the children, even though maybe you actually want to travel the world or do something else. You may run into the possibility of someone trying to push this upon you. So really think long and hard about that possibility. Is that for you? Is that a thing that you want to have in your future? Because I don't think you do. If you're gonna let someone corner you into this role of the 19, the Sun card, I think that it's gonna have long-lasting consequences, like for 20 something years, as I said before. So this is like a portal again, because not 1 + 9 from the Sun card, it's 20, so it's another 2. You have a lot of 2s here, and also the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, you're going through this portal. Really think about, I would say that maybe you're feeling stuck, but it's normal, because you're now deciding in these months, in 2018, you're deciding upon how will your next 27 years will look like. This is you setting the foundation for yourself. And that's why you're protective in a way. You're holding back. You're trying to buy yourself more time, because you may have gotten the idea that you want to be like this or live like this, but now when you're actually faced with these energies, it's like maybe there is something even better than what I have thought out for myself. So maybe there's a new level of evolution that I need to get to. And if I am gonna be pushed around by these people that don't recognize my my qualities, that don't actually face up to the fact that I'm another human being with my own wishes, my own inner governance, then I'm gonna be a slave all my life. So again, with the Sun card, this other portal, this portal here, that's like another repetition, okay? Because you have the wheel there in front of the woman, and also the sun shining very brightly. It's like you kind of see the situation from all directions, and you also see that it also has shadows. Even when the sun is shining at its brightest, it's still gonna cast some shadows. But your card, the 15, the devil, popped up, so I'm thinking you have this bright sun, this bright light, this bright awareness actually showing you the energies that you're living now, the threshold that you're passing through, the portals that you're traveling through. I think you're getting very aware and a bit scared. It's like, okay, I need to sit for a moment and actually calculate this. Do I need that? Do I need the other thing? Do I need this? So, yeah. Also with the woman there, you can see that she is like weaving some. So she is creating this weave of life, maybe. It's like weaving your own life. In different cultures around the world, when a baby is born, you have this idea of three women that come together and wish certain things for a child. You can call them fairies, you can call them any way you want, because they're called in different ways in different cultures around the world. But they are weavers of destiny. So we're talking spiders here, okay? Spiders are the weavers of destiny. Now, you can either let yourself be cornered into something that you don't want, that is not representative of you, not your plan, not your thing, or you can actually encompass or become this destiny weaver for yourself. It's like, I've seen your feminine side is very preeminent here, because I see this pregnancy theme with the Empress, and the Empress is usually pregnant. The High Priestess also has a baby in the card. 19, the Sun card, has two twins there, so you also may be dealing with the Gemini. It's like, yes, you can very easily embody that classical mom thing. If this is what you want, by all means, really take it with two hands and be happy with it, because you're gonna build on this is gonna be your foundation from now on. But for others of you, with all this pregnancy theme here, I'm thinking that you have a great abundance inside of you, great creativity. You're pregnant with your ideas, with your projects, with all the things that you want to build now. Because once old structures get torn down in your life, an earth person by default, they have so many ideas, they just quickly tend to the land, okay? It's like, yes, we had this hail disaster here, maybe there was a hurricane that came and swooped up your crops, but now you're cleaning the land of debris and you're setting the things up for new seeds, and you have all these seeds inside of you to the point where your creativity becomes like a burden on you, because you're so full with it and you're ready to put the seeds to the ground, but it's like you just need to prep the ground for now, okay? I feel you being very excited for the things that you are starting now, and you have the required patience to even see them through, although you're a cardinal sign, so you like sowing the seeds, not so much as sitting with them as to gain the harvest, but you're very well equipped to sow the seeds. So every domain of your life can be redone now. So if we're talking health-wise, we're talking diet, we're talking workout routines, we're talking mental sanity, we're talking hygiene, we're talking even some Ayurvedic principles, maybe some new age principles will somehow find their way in your aura. So you're gonna try out different things until you find the thing that works for you in particular. And there's no other zodiac sign that is gonna be like applying the scientific method of experiment to different concepts that they actually maybe see on social media, get from other people, or come in contact with in a general sense. So you're gonna work on your health. You're really working also on your career. You're working on everything mostly, because the first house is you. It's that center point. So everything is up in shambles because you have this inner hierarchy. So once you have that center point set, your core self, your core values set, then you can manifest all these things on the outside, like actually starting to weave your destiny into existence. If now is not the time, I don't know what a better time would be for you to actually do this. And just think for a moment about it. It's not it's not just something random that happened for you to actually embody yourself and live through Pluto and Saturn retrograde and a Mars retrograde through your first house. Like, this could happen. I don't know how slow Pluto moves, but I know Saturn takes about 30 years roughly around to go around our solar system, to do one cycle. Pluto moves even slower. He hangs out for like 20 something years, if I'm not mistaken, in a sign. So this is like once in a very long lifetime, even in a few generations, that you actually get to see these two planets hang out together here. So you have been chosen, or you have chosen for yourself to live through these times. So really get to work on what it is that you want to show the world, what it is that you want to create in this life. You know, you came here for a higher purpose. Now it's your time to actually set the course straight so you can hit the ground running once these planets go full direct. Maybe you want to hit the ground running with your ideas. But now it's restructure time. So much for the Sun card. Very much awareness. You're so awakened. It's like, yes, you can actually end up not living your life when so many people are pulling on your energy. But here with the Sun card and all this indecision and the High Priest, it's like you're trying to read the signals of that this period is gonna give you. You're trying to understand like the depth of which you can wreck the actual structures So you're very aware. Again, another thing here with the sun card, you have the sun and that round wheel there. So I'm thinking, again, you're faced with some kind of patterns or repetition in your life, and now it comes to your awareness. Also with the High Priest card, it's like some hidden secrets coming up. So you can actually question yourself, what am I doing with this repetition really? So what am I doing with the other thing? Am I gonna do this all my life? Is this a very lucrative thing for me to do? 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry, it gets really thirsty. I don't know if we still have spring, because there was like this 1 week of spring, then scorching hot heat. It's getting very hot here. You have the devil and the sun card, so you have a lot of heat going on. Maybe you're actually feeling like the sauna effect in your life, that you're getting very crowded by all the concepts that others have told, the shoulds and should-haves coming from the outside. So you're getting very crowded on the inside. Really take up all your space inside for yourself. Stop letting other people's ideas and things creep into your being and modify you, okay? You're fine as you are. You're great as you are, and you should be as you are. You should be you. I almost feel like I'm preaching to the choir, because you already know this and you're just focusing on yourself. And once the sun comes out, once you get the clear picture, the clear image, okay, after that, after you get clear on what it is that you personally want to do, want to manifest, want to create, finally getting real about the master plan, then comes zero. The Fool. So it's like you reverting back into a child state, not being infantile, not in that way, but Capricorns, even when you're born, when you're a small child, it's like you're born as a very old person. You're an old child, okay? So time is somewhat going backwards for you. It's like you're born old, and throughout your life you're learning how to be a child, how to be in this full energy here. So it's like you finally spreading your wings and going out from this little nest that you have here, with the same people, the same situations, the same ideas, the same implied authority and all that. It's like here you're finally moving out. It's that child energy inside of you. Your soul is screaming out like, yes, finally I want this new beginning to happen. I want it, like I can actually believe or dream or do this. So you're heading out, traveling very lightweight, because the tower is down, so you only have yourself and a few belongings there. And this beautiful little entity, he's moving out into the world with his little beautiful eyes, you know, beholding the world like, oh wow, the world is actually great. Like, I couldn't believe that this could be possible for me. I didn't know that I could feel like this again, like being reborn in a way. It's a very healthy thing if you're trying to if you're starting out something, if you're starting a new job, if you're starting a new project, if you're starting a new love relationship, which I wouldn't really recommend in this situation, because I don't know if it will hold, or anyone who would see you through this transition would actually consider you to be sane to a certain degree. So here is our beautiful Capricorn finally setting out after really having everything destroyed, getting clear on the inside, what we're building on, those core values, and now you're taking yourself out into the world. And what happens to this beautiful child energy? Well, you can see in the card that you have the sun shining above, because you have the sun card before, so the sun is still shining, but you also have the moon out, reflected in the lower right side of the card. So you still have your awareness with you. You also have the moon talks about the high priestess. The high priestess is being ruled by the moon. So you also have your emotions with you. You still have your connection to the divine. But now it's time for you to embody this childlike energy after so much work, after so much drama, after all the battles and the setbacks and the stops and the redos and all that thing, because I'm literally gonna go a bit crazy with your reading. I just want to know this is the only reason why I even done it, because I want to know for the month of May, what was your starting point for April. So in the month of May I will catch you also mid-action through the month. Your reading has been not so consequential as the Sagittarius one, but I just cannot, like, it doesn't want to be finished. I don't know why I'm experiencing so much interruptions. The video is not gonna be a video, it's gonna be half video, half audio. So there are so many things less than ideal with your reading that I was actually afraid to do it, because there's a lot of energy hitting your way, and when I sit myself down to make a reading, it's like the circumstances change according to that energy. So, dear Capricorn, the Fool card here, the Zero, starting again, starting a new thing, being very open to it. You can see the contrast between this Knight of Wands being very shielded, coming through, sweeping in, and the Fool card. You can see the Fool is very open. He has no shield on. In classical tarot, even his coat is falling off of him. You know, like when kids lose their clothes on the playground or stuff like that. He doesn't care. He just wants to move forward, as to gather new experiences for his soul. He doesn't care so much for his safety. He may walk off the cliff there and fall into water or fall to his death. But here, you're falling into trial. You're falling into this bit of a shady nighttime energy here with the Seven of Swords. So you're ending your reading for the month of April with another sword card here. Seven is usually a trial, so you're gonna have to you're gonna go through this trial. It's a normal thing for a Capricorn, every step of the way to be tested. Have you had a moment of peace in the last, I don't know, something years? No. Because for you, it's one test after the other. Why? Because you're a very resilient sign. Because you have another type of knowledge. Because you understand certain things. So that's why every step of the way you're being tested. Saturn, even though he is sort of sleeping now, he's going over past themes as to redo them or test you. It's time for you to be tested with your 12th house concepts of the subconscious, the patterns, the ways in which you undermine yourself. So he's a bit sleepy, but he's also testing you in this period. So that's why, even though finally you've gained some kind of momentum here, some kind of innocent belief in your dreams and yourself, the second step will be a test. Clearly it's going to be a test. So get used to this, because the next 2 years while Saturn is here, you're going to be tested. Okay, things are going to be broken down, then you're going to be tested, and it all harkens into your being. So really try to be an alchemist about this experience now in April, May, and throughout the year. So Capricorn, I wish you the best of luck, and we will see each other in the month of May, hopefully with a better organized reading. I'm sorry for the situation, but it's just, this is how it is for now. So goodbye, Capricorn, and take care.